Greetings, beloved. I am grateful to be here with you today. My name is Dr. Critical Truth Bay Desire. I am a policy analyst for the 6th region, and it's an honor to present to you a restitution. I first want to say thank you to each and every single one of you who join us here today at the first World Reparations Conference, hosted by the African Caribbean Sustainability and Investment Summit at the House of Lords. I want to give also a special thank you to CEO and organizer David F. Roberts for putting us all together. Built in Marblehead in 1636, the 120-ton Desire was commonly believed to be one of the first ships to bring enslaved Africans into the Massachusetts Bay Colony. Built to serve many purposes, the ship carried passengers, trade goods, and supplies through the Atlantic world. It also served to traffic in people. The papers and journals of John Winthrop, which provided only information of the vessel and connections to the slave trade, detail some of the vessel's journeys. In July 1637, William Pierce, master of the Desire, left the Massachusetts Bay Colony for Hispaniola, there to sell into slavery 15 native boys and 2 native women, captured in a battle near what is called now New Haven, Connecticut. In February of that next year, Pierce and the Desire returned from Providence Island into the West Indies, into a country now called Haiti, with a full hold of some cotton, tobacco, and some Negroes. I stand before you today not only as myself, but as a living descendant of those who were bound in chains and carried across the Atlantic. Good ship Desire bear my family name. My ancestors arrived on these shores in the U.S., aboard the good ship Desire in 1636, under the command of William Pierce, landing in Boston. They did not come to seek opportunity, nor did they come freely. They were bought here as chattel slaves. My family voices were silenced, their names were stripped. My ancestors' humanity was denied. Yet our resilience has carried forward through the centuries, and it is by my ancestors' unbreakable spirit that I am able to stand before you today. When I speak, I carry them with me. Their story, not only my story, but it is a part of American history. I would like to discuss with you today a very important document that was written by the House of Congress in 2008. It is called House Resolution 194. H.R. 194 is a federal resolution that was drafted in the 110th U.S. Congress, passed by the House of Representatives, sponsored by Senator Stephen Cohen. H.R. 194 is a resolution apologizing for the enslavement of racial segregation of African Americans under the U.S. law, more specifically for slavery and the Jim Crow laws that followed. It also acknowledges that slavery and Jim Crow were fundamentally unjust, cruel, brutal, dehumanizing, and their effects continue to linger. It also commits in rectifying these lingering consequences, and for those misdeeds, and preventing similar human rights violations. And it is before you today that I have the honor to read House Resolution 194, to not also remind us of this federally important document, but to also attach restitution, and the corresponding Haitian resolution, H.R. 1804, will both be presented in Congress 120. 120th Congress, which will be in 2026. Both resolutions recognize not only the moral obligation, but also the legislative responsibility. The amendments put forth total $5 million per descendant of chattel slave, a figure not arbitrary, but emblematic, intended to reflect the seriousness of debt owed and the magnitude of repair required. House Resolution 194. In the House of Representatives, U.S., July 29th, author Stephen Cohen. Each of these lines represent a amends mandate figure of $, of cash payments that is owed to each descendant of chattel slave. Whereas millions of Africans and their descendants were enslaved in the United States and in the 13th colonies from 1619 to 1865. Price tag, $300,000. Whereas slavery in America resembled no other form of involuntary servitude known in history, as Africans were captured and sold at auction like inanimate objects or animals. Price tag, $300,000. Whereas Africans forced into slavery were brutalized, humiliated, dehumanized, and subjected to the indignity of being stripped of their names and heritage. $300,000. Whereas enslaved families were torn apart after having been sold separately from one another. $300,000. Whereas a system of slavery and visceral racism against persons of African descent, upon which it depended upon, become entrenched in the nation's social fabric. Price tag, $300,000. Whereas slavery was not officially abolished until the passage of the 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution in 1865, after the end of the Civil War. Price tag, $300,000. Whereas after the emancipation from 246 plus years of chattel slavery, African Americans soon saw the fleeting political, social, and economic gains they made during Reconstruction eviscerated by virulent racism, lynchings.
Family in Mississippi is now begging for answers after their 21-year-old was found dead hanging from a tree at Delta State University. Campus police say the body of 21-year-old Trey Reed, a black student, was discovered by staff members on Monday morning.
So what we're seeing right now is that they're claiming that there has been a lack of direct communication from law enforcement, from the university to the family on the day this incident was discovered.
Family does not know exactly what happened on September the 15th of 2025. We are seeking answers. The family of Trey Reed has not even received a phone call.
Students on Delta State University's campus react to Cleveland Police Department's ruling of Trey Reed's death.
I don't have much of an opinion on the autopsy. I'd like to think that they aren't lying, but considering the history of Mississippi, it's hard to be sure.
Lynchings, disenfranchisement, black codes, and racial segregation laws.
Oh yeah! I'm saying what you saying? Oh yeah, fuck! I'm not. Oh my god! Fuck up! Okay, down. Oh my fuck! Oh my god!
You want it again? Shut the fuck up, you was big and bad. Shut your bitch ass up.
That imposed a rigid system of officially sanctioned racial segregation in virtually all areas of life. Price tag, $300,000. Whereas a system of de jure racial segregation known as Jim Crow, which arose in certain parts of the nation following the Civil War to create separate but unequal societies for whites and for African Americans, was a direct result of racism against persons of African descent engendered by slavery. Price tag, $300,000. Whereas a century after the official end of slavery in America, federal action was required during the 1960s to eliminate the de jure and de facto system of Jim Crow throughout these parts of the nation, through its vestiges still linger to this day. Price tag, $300,000. Whereas on July 8, 2003, during a trip to Gorée Island, Senegal, a former slave port, President George W. Bush acknowledged slavery's continuing legacy in American life and the need to confront that legacy when he stated that slavery was one of the greatest crimes of history. The racial bigotry fed by slavery did not end with slavery or with segregation. And many of the issues that still trouble America have roots in the bitter experience of other times. But however long the journey, our destiny is set, liberty and justice for all. Price tag, $300,000. Whereas President Bill Clinton also acknowledged the deep-seated problems caused by the continuing legacy of racism against African Americans that began with slavery when he initiated a national dialogue about race. Price tag, $300,000. Whereas a genuine apology is important and necessary first step in the process of racial reconciliation. Price tag, $300,000. Whereas an apology for centuries of brutal dehumanization and injustices cannot erase the past, but confessions of the wrong committed can speed racial healing and reconciliation and help Americans confront the ghosts of its past. Price tag, $300,000. Whereas a legislator of Commonwealth of Virginia have recently taken the lead in adopting a resolution officially expressing appropriate remorse for slavery, and other state legislators have adopted or are considering similar resolutions, price tag, $300,000. Whereas it is important for this country, which legally recognized slavery through its Constitution and its laws, to make a formal apology for slavery and its successor, Jim Crow, so that it may move forward and seek reconciliation, justice, and harmony for all of its citizens.
Murray scolding a student found on school property after hours. Shows Ahmad Williams waiting in the principal's office. He's exchanging words with school resource officer Steve Shaulis.
Man to man, bro. If you're 14 years old enough, I will punch you in your face.
Price tag, $300,000. Be it resolved that the House of Representatives acknowledges, number one, the slavery is incompatible with the basic founding principles recognized in the Declaration of Independence that all men are created equal. Number two, acknowledges the fundamental injustices, cruelty, brutality, and inhumanity of slavery and Jim Crow. Number three, apologizes to African Americans on behalf of the people of the United States for the wrongs committed against them and their ancestors who suffered under slavery and Jim Crow. Number four, it also expresses its commitment to rectify the lingering consequences of the misdeeds committed against African Americans under slavery and Jim Crow, and to stop the occurrence of human rights violations in the future. Number five, the persons described in House Resolution 194 shall receive reparations and restitution cash payments in a total of either $5.1 million or $5 million, which is the total of the 5 resolutions. The persons described in House Resolution 194 shall receive any parcels of land totaling up to 60 acres at the location of their choice. Was originally 40 acres and a mule, but even that has not been given. As we move forward to the Republic of Haiti, Parliament Resolution number 1804 to be presented in Congress 120 in 2026. A resolution acknowledging historical harms, offering an official apology, and establishing a national reparative justice program. The United States has a heavy hand in current Haitian situation in politics.
Why don't you give back the money? I think it would be a great gesture because she takes a tremendous amount of money. And you take a look at the people of Haiti, because what's happened in Haiti with the Clinton Foundation is a disgrace. And you know it, and they know it, and everybody knows it.
Thank you, my fellow Democrats. Thank you, my fellow Americans. We've done things to help small businesses and agriculture.
2010, former President Clinton publicly apologized for forcing Haiti to drop tariffs on imported subsidized U.S. rice during his time in office. The policy wiped out Haitian rice farming, seriously damaging Haiti's ability to be self-sufficient. This is the president apologizing at a hearing before the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. At the time, he was the UN special envoy to Haiti.
We rich countries that produce a lot of food should sell it to poor countries and relieve them of the burden of producing their own food. So thank goodness they can leap directly into the industrial era. It has not worked. It's maybe been good for some of my farmers in Arkansas, but it has not worked. It was a mistake.
There's no reason why Haiti should be importing rice. The rice grown in Haiti is much healthier. Ever since this rice has been coming in, there have been diabetes epidemics. People didn't used to have that much diabetes. This is the worst thing that could have happened to Haiti.
Bill and I have been involved in trying to help Haiti for many years. We've done things to help small businesses and agriculture.
It was a mistake.
Because of the iridium and the natural resources that Haiti has, more than any other country in the world. And it is because of this clause that the United States, along with France and Canada, decided to rob and pillage Haiti's gold in 1914 and in 1915 built its wealth upon the gold in Fort Knox in the United States. Therefore, the House Resolution 1804 shall reflect the same restitutive justice. In January 1804, Haiti declared its independence, becoming the first Black republic and ending chattel slavery on its soil. Whereas in 1825, France imposed an identity on Haiti as a condition for recognition, triggering a century of debt, extracting finances and dependency in a tune of over $300 billion. And because of this, the tune of $5.1 million per descendant of chattel slave from Haiti is also requested. An issuance of an official apology is also requested to the Haitian people. To also establish a national reparative justice program, a 3-year pilot to finance targeted community-led repair across all 10 departments. And finally, to set investment priorities for all those who were affected by chattel slave, not only in the U.S. and the Caribbean, but globally. To invest in education and skills, teacher training, youth entrepreneurship, invest in health and nutrition, clinics, mental health, and maternal care, to invest in housing and community infrastructure, safe water, sanitation, and resilient housing, to invest in rural economy and food systems, farmer co-ops, storage, and irrigation, and finally, culture and memory archives, to preserve the legacy and to never forget the history that we have been through so we can never repeat it again. And this concludes our restitution presentation on how amends is needed in coinciding with this very important apology that has been federally documented. And it is from the UK that the United States was born and therefore bears the responsibility globally for us to see this restitution paid in full. A sincere thank you again for allowing us to present a very important need to bring restitution and repair to such an ugly history. But we can make it better by teaching our children that we are all created equal and for them to see that is so.